Hello and welcome everybody to round 2 of our little doubleheader tonight. This is going to be Eunosxx versus Lynx 7, so this should be a pretty great match. Two fantastic runners. I'll be joined by a second commentator here momentarily, I'm sure. That last race is still finishing up a little bit, but I think we are going to be getting started very shortly, so sit tight and we'll be up and running in just a minute. Alrighty, the runners have readied up, so the countdown has started, and this race is going to get going here very shortly. And bear with me for a moment as I try to sync these runners up here. Okay. And we are off. So if you're just joining us, we're looking for five caves here and a grass tile, as well as 4 towns, although only 2 of them are useful without a spell item, and also 3 palaces on this western continent. We've already got our first town here, the town of Saria on Eunosx's side.
By the way, hi.
Hey, Shiner!
Hey.
What's up?
I may be joining you for commentary here. Are we just watching through Twitch with delay?
I was using Streamlink, but you do whatever works best for you.
You can look at people's streams on VLC, can't you?
You can, that's what I'm doing, yeah.
I may have to figure out how to do that.
So we got the jump spell for Eunosxx in Saria. Balance is out. Okay, I'll turn Eunosxx down. Sorry about that. My fault. And that was just a heart container there in Trophy Cave. Eunosxx is gonna find the second spell town here. So 2 spells right off the bat. Hopefully one of them is either Fairy or Jump, so he can get that downstab spell. Although honestly, Eunosxx probably doesn't want to see Jump at all. He'd rather see Fairy, Reflect, or Thunder here. Oh, he already got Jump, so what am I talking about? And there's Fairy. So Fairy in Raru. Quick start there in terms of spells. Thank you for the host, Angry Larry. Much appreciated for all your work with the restreams and commentary and such today. And that's a P bag sitting there in Medicine Cave. So fast start for spells, slow start for items. Let's see what palaces we got. That's either 3 or 6 for Eunosxx. That P bag looked like it was a smaller P bag as well, so not even able to get a. Well, no, it was a 500 P bag. It's just attack was too high. So if you're gonna find those 500 P bags, you want to find them early.
I'm just gonna watch through Twitch for now because I don't know the URLs for the direct stream links from these guys.
That's fine.
If you can quickly explain how to set it up, then I'll get it going. Otherwise, I'll just be looking at the restream for now.
I don't know if you have Streamlink installed or not, but that's usually a requirement, and if you don't have it installed, then you're probably not going to get it going in time for this race.
I see. Well, I do not, so...
Yeah, no worries. I'll let you know if you're ahead or behind on things.
Currently, I just saw Link game over. Lots of fighting in the desert going on, so I'm probably like 20 seconds behind you.
Yeah. Actually, that was about right. That's about right.
I don't like where, what's the starting palace officially called? I don't like how that starts in the middle of a graveyard. That's kind of dangerous.
North Palace, yeah. Right there in the middle of a graveyard. It's not as bad as Dragon Warrior, where it can start you in the middle of a swamp and you take 2 HP for every step.
That can happen. That's so brutal.
Yeah, it definitely can happen. So
you'd have to get lucky with the chest and hope that there's like an herb in there, I guess.
Yeah, or hope you start with high HP or something like that. Yeah. Yes, Joe, these guys are both 1-0, and they're also both very good randomizer players, so I expect to see a good race from these two guys today. Link is kind of poking his head around. Eunosxx finds Palace 1, opts not to go in yet, even though he does have the Fairy spell. I don't think Fairy's castable at Magic 1. It usually isn't.
Can variants on Randomizer like push it within being able to cast at Magic 1?
It's definitely possible, yeah. It's unlikely, but possible.
Like, I can see it coming down to 64.
Yeah, I think it could go into the 50s. I'm not exactly sure of the numbers at this exact moment. And so we found 2 of the 5 caves. We found Trophy Cave and Medicine Cave on Link's side. Eunosxx actually hasn't found either of those caves yet. So we're looking for 3 more caves and a grass tile.
Eunosxx got Magic 2 first, and he still can't cast Fairy. It costs 78. If he finds a 5th Magic container, he'll be able to spend his entire bar and cast it.
So that's interesting. If Fairy remains high, we'll see people take magic levels early, and wow. Look at that. That's a great item to find early.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's a little weird that Eunosxx got the 2... Oh, nice, there's the glove. I just saw that. Yeah, Eunosxx got the 200-point P-Bag, and I see attack 2 costs only 220. So basically, you could have just like held on to it and probably got attack 2 really early, but he spent all of it on life and magic level ups. And now I see why. It's because he had Fairy on his list, so... When you have Fairy, you wanna get Fairy live as fast as possible, because Fairy is so useful. Because it not only unlocks downstab for you on West Continent, and upstab if you go to East Continent, but it means you can basically go through most locked doors and palaces. Like, if you have no keys, you can cast Fairy and squeeze through the keyhole. It's kind of... it's one of those weird things where it's an emergent gameplay thing, but it also kind of makes sense logically, so you wonder if it was put in the game on purpose.
Well, it actually doesn't exist in the some of the other versions of Zelda 2 to be able to ferry through doors, so... I think the frame rate of the NTSC version has something to do with that ability. But a magic jar pickup for Eunosxx there in P-Bag Cave, and these item caves, aside from the grass tile, have not been terribly exciting so far.
Oh yeah, you know that one desert tile on the East Continent where there's a big rock? So you have to cast jump to get over it, and there's a P-Bag in the middle? Is that always a P-Bag, or does it shuffle around? Because I know in later versions of the randomizer, the P-Bag caves can have items sometimes. So is it just shuffling P-Bags from other areas into those, or is it overwriting existing P-Bags?
Well, it's only the caves that can have the items. So the tile like the one you mentioned cannot have an item other than like a P-Bag or a 1-up or a red jar or something.
Right, so the P-Bag that was in there gets shuffled around, and it could be in a palace, for example.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the P-Bag in the P-Bag caves gets shuffled around. And we have a quick Palace 1 by Link 7s. I think Horsehead was just right by the entrance there, and Eunosxx is right behind him, so... I wonder if we'll see him go back and look for these items. Looks like Eunosxx is going to look for the item. Link doesn't seem interested.
Well, when you start with Candle, what else do you need?
Few things.
Just a glove? maybe a raft. I hear you need raft to beat this game.
It's slightly required.
We need to get Ocarina of Time runners running this game so we can figure out a way to skip the raft.
I mean, if you found a raft skipped, then that would change the way this game is speedrun dramatically, so you'd be a hero.
Well, we still need all crystals for the regular any % category.
That's true.
So I don't know if it would change that much. It would change randomizer, though.
Actually, I guess you can skip the raft if you do a healer glitch, so you can just wrong warp your way on over.
Yeah, well, that's any %. That's the cool category that President Folk runs.
I believe Opus has the world record in that category right now. And speaking of the raft, there it is, chilling in Palace 1, so...
I guess Link is going back, eventually.
He's gonna have to. There's not a whole lot in these item caves to find, that's for sure.
What do you think Eunosxx is going to do? Do you think he's going to buy Attack 2 and then just take a crystal level up? Or is he going to go Mega Greed and try to buy Life 4 with the crystal? Or rather, maybe like push for Life 4 but then spend the points on attack level ups anyway?
Knowing Eunosxx, he's just going to plow ahead. He doesn't really grind, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of grinding. He doesn't slow down for levels, he just goes.
Right. He probably looks at the level up screen as a slowdown thing, like, hey, how come I'm not moving anymore? Get this thing out of here. He has totally the opposite perspective of me. Whereas you saw, like, in the... I don't know if you were watching the race I just did, but... Oh, nice P-bag for Eunosxx there. In the race I just did, I think I finished, what was it? Palace 3 with, like, 3,600 out of 3,900. And I was like, aw.
Yeah.
Got huge level ups.
You and Eunosxx actually have similar styles in the sense that you both just are great at killing enemies and getting levels just walking from one place to the other. So you'll definitely see Eunosxx just tearing enemies up as he goes. That's how he's going to get most of his levels.
I think I saw Eunosxx cast fire. Do we know what other effect is applied to fire?
Well, if he cast something and had fire, then that means fire is linked with that spell. So I guess that must have been the jump spell.
He just has sword beam projectile swap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been swapped for fireballs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I wonder when he casts fire, will it come up with a different projectile for that?
It'll actually still be fire. Although if it was swapped with something else like a bubble, then fire would also be a bubble. So Link is back in Palace 1. Yeah.
Must be looking for the raft.
That's kind of interesting. I mean, he's got some other caves to find, at least 1 or 2 other caves to find. So I guess he just doesn't like leaving this item in 1. Most people don't like leaving the item in 1 because it's just so easy to get.
Palace 1 is just great all around. Except for not having a red potion. That gave me an issue early on, because I got life early on. I was like, arg, I'm dying, I need a potion.
Yeah.
No, that was what happened when I found 5 on the island earlier.
I don't think Link has the fairy spell yet either, so he's kind of had to go a little bit out of his way to find some keys, of which there are plentiful keys, but still. He's got to do it the old-fashioned way.
Some of you viewers out there might think, like, well, if he had fairy, he could have a huge stockpile of keys, but no, it doesn't work that way. If you have a key and you hover into a door as a fairy, you still spend the key. You have to have 0 keys in order to phase through doors.
Yeah, that's correct. So Eunosxx is picking up that, what is that, a heart container there in Trophy Cave, and now he's going to get this P-bag here in Medicine Cave.
Oh, how convenient. The raft is right by start.
Yeah, that is nice when that happens. It really is kind of frustrating when you have to walk all the way across or go through a cave or something to get to it.
Oh, here, Link found Bagu Town. That's where the fairy was, wasn't it? No, fairy is the top of the list. That's in Roru.
Yep, but Roru's right next door, so he'll be picking that up shortly as well. And really, you know, aside from just a couple different order of things, these runners have been basically neck and neck so far.
Yeah, they seem pretty caught up now. Okay, so Jump is in, I think Saria is the raft town?
Saria, yes, the river town.
Right. So now if Link goes and gets Fairy, I think they'll have pretty much all the same stuff.
Fairy is castable at Magic 3 for Eunosxx, but it takes almost his entire Magic bar, so that might be a problem. Although I bet he'll take Magic 4 eventually.
I'm thinking Eunosxx will be hungry for Magic 4. When you have a good spell like Fairy, then leveling up Magic becomes a very attractive option. Like in the race I just did, I found Life right away, and then I got Thunder and Fairy shortly after, and Thunder is actually kind of underappreciated, I think. It's actually really good if you get it really early on, and then you can go to the East Continent early, because you can use Thunder to just power farm enemies that have high experience returns and level up really quickly.
Yeah, especially in that race you were just in, those enemies were dropping crazy experience. The South.
Blue Lizalfos, yeah. I love it when they drop 500. It's pretty likely because, as far as I can tell, the randomizer just rerolls experience values one notch higher or lower, or is it plus or minus 2?
It's 2, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, in the real game they give 300. So if it goes up, you can. I guess you have like. I guess that means it's less likely to happen then, huh? Because it won't push on to 1,000, and it won't like.
I think there are only 200 actually in the vanilla game, so it can be either 3 or 5.
Yeah, they do 300 in the vanilla game, but like I'm saying, the ceiling is right there at 500. And the other funny thing is that it's not actually 300 experience; it's 301. For some reason, Baranak and those guys in the real game give you 301 instead of 300, but the sprite says 300.
Unfortunate K for Eunosxx just drops him off in a dead end with the swamp. He doesn't like that, but I think that's hilarious.
Wait, you could have walked on that water tile to make that encounter disappear, or did he just want to respawn?
He doesn't have the boots.
But the overlay says he does.
Does it?
Yeah, when did these guys get the boots?
I don't see it marked.
Link doesn't have the boots either, but the boots are glowing on the overlay.
That's the jump spell.
Oh, I'm being silly. We should make it face the other way. Make it look like wing boots from Fazanadu.
Yeah, you scared me there for a second. I was like staring at my tracker like, what? What is going on?
No, I'm just a nublet. I haven't watched enough of these races yet.
So Eunosxx and Link are both going east. Gonna see if they can find some better stuff. We have not seen the third palace, I don't think, on the western
On the West Continent.
So.
Well, we also haven't seen what's on the other side of Saria. So it might be in an isolated area that requires going there, or taking a cave to some tunnel.
That's true.
Or worst of all, tunneling through Death Mountain.
That's Palace 4 right there for Eunosxx, but he doesn't have Reflect, so he's not going to bother with that right now.
Oh yeah. Both of these guys have 6 magic containers now. And we also saw some of the best possible functionality of the jump spell on Eunosx's screen there. He found that screen I was talking about earlier with the that desert tile with the rocky terrain and the hidden 500-point P-bag in there. That's really nice if you can find it this early on.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like you need 6 or less magic containers to get the item in New Kasuto.
Yep, and it's just the cross.
I don't mind the cross. I found Randomizer adds invisible Moas to Great Palace, doesn't it?
It does, indeed.
Maybe they were slated to be in the original game, but just weren't implemented.
They were chilling in the code, so I stuck them in.
Same with those orange bird knights, orange fuckers.
And the bubbles, too.
Yeah, the vertical bubbles that can get the weird angle.
Yep. So we're going to get at least one item and one spell here. They don't have the spell yet. There's Reflect, though, and so that's a great find. They're certainly happy to see that. Shaping up to be a very fast seed at the moment. I wonder if we'll see him turn right back around and head into 4.
Yeah, all we need now is Thunder. And I think that's pretty much all the spells you need to finish the game.
Well, there's another palace right nearby, too, so we're going to see what that is. And it's Palace 5. Not going to touch that one yet for Eunosxx. He's also not headed to 4, but there's Maze Island, so wow, lots of things just right here on the eastern continent.
That strikes me as an odd decision to not go into Palace 5 right away.
Well, Fairy's expensive, so, you know, you got basically 3 fairy casts unless you get a lucky jar drop somewhere. Or find some keys.
Well, there's plenty of keys in 5, but I guess you don't want to have to seek them out.
Yeah.
There's also plenty of locked doors in 5.
Yeah, there's lots. Lynx found a P-Bag cave. Eunosxx picked up a heart container in the magic container spot on Maze Island. Should also be noted that Eunosxx didn't pick up Downstab yet, but Link did.
Oh yeah. It took me forever to find Downstab in the race I just did. And I don't know, it was sorely missed, but at the same time I can manage without it. But having it is just so nice.
Yeah. Speaking of nice things to have, Link finds the boots in that P-Bag cave, so may not be required, although it's possible, but even if it's not required, just a fantastic item for overworld transportation purposes.
I learned Eunosxx found the other item hidden on Maze Island.
Yep, we got the medicine.
Okay, so when Eunosxx goes to get Downstab, he'll get a free spell out of the deal, too.
Indeed, and if it's Thunder, then he's good to go. So we got Great Palace on Maze Island, it looks like.
That's maybe a little inconvenient, but if you have the boots, then it's not so inconvenient. Yeah, Link doing the same thing, I think. Oh, he's going into Palace 5, okay.
Yeah, he sure is.
I like going into Palace 5 early because there's so much experience in there. Like, it might take a while to explore, but you'll get a lot of experience out of the deal.
If you don't get hopelessly lost. So Eunosxx opting to walk out of Maze Island. He's probably still interested in maybe checking some of those spells that are on this continent.
Maybe he's walking to 5.
Possibly, yeah. When I find palaces, I start to think about routing, and so when I see palaces like 4 and 5 near Great Palace, I'm just like, well, I'll put those off to last, and then I'll be right by GP. Save me some walking, you know?
I'm just greedy and short-sighted and just want to take on whatever's right in front of me.
So. That's a valid strategy as well, for sure.
You know, if it's right in front of me, I'd rather just, like, do it and get it over with and not have to backtrack and go there later.
So he was about to go through Valley of Death and got stuck in one of those encounters and then just decides to up A. That palace had to be either 2 or 3 or 6, based on what we know.
Yeah, because 1 is completed. We found 4 and 5. Yeah, so it's 2, 3, or 6 at the end of the Valley of Death there. I'm thinking Eunosxx will go there later when he's a more capable spellcaster. Because it was right there in your All Keys guide. No, not your All Keys guide. Your own randomizer guide that you made. You just said, yeah, just don't try to encounter skip them. Just ferry through them.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah,
it's the most reliable strat. It really is.
Well, that was maybe before Fairy Feet was a big thing as well.
For what was the big thing?
Fairy Feet. It's a glitch that was discovered within maybe the last year or so.
Isn't that what it's called when you're able to get downstab and go down the chimney using fairy?
No, that's Fairy Claws. Fairy Feet is when you turn into a fairy and you clip out of bounds just a little bit on those encounters, and then you can just skip the whole thing. You should definitely look it up. It's a useful skill.
Oh, that'd be really useful, because you saw I had to use spell to kind of improvise my way through one of those dangerous encounter screens.
Yeah. And this is 6 right here for Eunosxx, so you know, maybe not the one he was hoping for, but he's gonna take care of it anyway. He does take Magic 4, which should help the fairy situation at least. Actually, it doesn't. It's still 77. So it dropped 1 from Magic 3 to Magic 4.
Yeah, for those who are uncertain, magic point costs in this game, they seem random. Well, it's sort of because they are. Zelda 2 just uses a lookup table. Basically goes, you know, oh, this is what your magic level is, well, this is what this spell costs. And it's just a big grid for every spell in the game. There really isn't like a rhyme or reason to it, and obviously Randomizer scrambles that even further.
And Eunosxx having some trouble here. He still doesn't have downstab. So fighting Ribbonack without downstab, certainly doable, but a lot more challenging.
It's tricky. It's even harder if you don't have jump. I find it's easier if you have jump, because then you can kind of do like drive-bys and kind of like jump over top and sneak in hits from behind. So he's like kind of trying to do that, but Ribbonack is crafty as well and is able to turn around. I've beaten Ribbonack without downstab before, but it's very tricky.
Yeah, it sure is. He's just gonna go a different direction. Finds the item room, which has another Ribbonack in it, so...
Well, that one would be extra worth, though.
Yeah.
Generally, the earlier you can find items, the better off you are.
Although, I mean, what items does he really need at this point?
Oh yeah, fair enough. Well, Magic Key.
Magic Key would be nice, certainly.
We already know it's not the boots. So it's either going to be that or something that unlocks a spell.
Yeah. Well, it could be Heart Container, Magic Container, or something like that.
Yeah, that's the worst thing it could be. Or maybe one of the 500-point P bags that got shuffled
Yeah,
around.
it could be a whammy.
A whammy. Normally context means that's a bad thing, but I'm stoked when I find 500-point P bags.
Well, I mean, it's especially a whammy when you use Fairy to go through the key door to get it, and
Yeah.
you can't even pick
Fairies
it up.
don't have hands. They can't cash in those P bags. Now we got Eunosxx stumbling around in Death Mountain. Usually you don't want to do this unless you can't think of anything else to do. This is kind of what you want to do in Death Mountain, is you don't actually go through caves, you just examine the entrance of each one to see if it's the Hammer Shrine.
Yep. Although, he might be looking for, like, a pass-through or something. I'm not sure.
Right, he's looking for the missing palace on West Continent. But he hasn't walked... These guys have ferry, they don't have to talk to Bagu, they can just fly across the river in Saria.
They could, yeah. Or, I mean, Link's got the boots, so he could try to just jog up the coast there if he wanted to.
Yeah, that too. I'm not sure if Randomizer... I'm not sure what it has for, like, graph theory, sanity checking for map connectivity. I'm not sure if it can make, like, islands or things behind lakes and stuff like that. Like, can it make landlocked areas that are boots required to get to?
It sure
especially
can.
on the West Continent.
Yeah, it can. Doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Eunosxx does find the Hammer Cave, and Link got the item in 5, which was, in fact, a P bag, so he has been in 5 for quite some time here.
Can't wait to see what Dig Shake finds in Death Mountain here.
Oh, I'm not playing the game.
No, someone was asking who's commentating.
Oh. Another P bag sitting in Death Mountain. Not what Eunosxx was hoping for. Certainly.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Because you want to up A to just get out of there, but you're so close to a level up. It's like, eh. I've never seen Eunosxx contemplate for so long.
Yeah,
He was really thinking about it. He was really thinking about it.
He looks a little confused right now.
Up.
Which really, I mean, it's easy for us to judge since we've seen, you know, both players. But if he scrolls the screen down a little bit in the southwest corner, he'll find Mido, and if he goes over to the east, he'll find the boots, and either one of those things would be very welcome for him to find right now.
I think Eunosxx is feeling a great hunger for the down stab maneuver.
I don't doubt that. It's gonna go across this bridge. We don't see this happen too often.
I had to do it in my round 1 race to get to the other side of West Continent. Very scenic looking lake, though. This is probably my favorite part of like Zelda 2 and the Dragon Warrior randomizers is the new world maps that they generate. I haven't tried Dragon Warrior 2 randomizer yet, but I know it exists, and I think I saw Pickle streaming it once, and the world map generated for that looks rather chaotic. Looks a little bit more like the MS Paint spray tool, where it just kind of scatters tiles everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
I thought that, like, randomizer should have like a slider. Like, you know how Civilization 4 has all these different biome options and different continents? You know, you can have like islands or larger land masses or just crazy chaotic terrain. I don't really know how to make a map shuffler, basically, like how to generate a random world map, but I'm sure there's just graph theory behind it to say, like, yeah, just make sure it has connectivity and terrain of this type. I don't really know how you'd code that, though.
Well,
I should go look at this course.
I mean, I agree with you. I think there's a lot of room for experimentation with these overworlds, and that's something that's always on my mind when I'm thinking about new things to add.
Well, there's kind of like a use case to take into consideration. Like, the Zelda 2 randomizer is what, like 2 years old now? And we're kind of used to racing it a certain way, so adding in a new feature can lead to a kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Kind of like a lack of unity for, you know, because someone will make a race and they'll go like, oh, what should we do for the map generation? It'll be like a new flag that we can add, and it'll maybe be a little unclear as to what it does or what it even accomplishes. But I don't know. I'm on the side of, like, if we can have more features, we should have it just for the fun of it.
Sure.
Feature I want more, though, is remove music. Just saying.
That's a popular one. I'm gonna try and figure out how to do that here. It seems like it should be easy.
Well, it's probably not as easy as it sounds. I've heard that replacing the NSFs is also harder than it sounds because it has to be a certain byte length, right? If you say you like write a new soundtrack for the game, and if it's like even 1 byte longer, then where are you going to put it in the ROM? Like, all the pointers are still aiming at certain places, so if they're 1 byte off, it's going to break everything. So
right.
Your new soundtrack would have to be the same size or smaller, but more likely the same size with a bunch of padding.
Yeah. Eunosxx has found Palace 3 here. It was right by Mido, so I didn't see Link find this. Maybe he did, but I do enjoy this mint green palace. And Link is still searching for Goomba in Palace 5 there. Gotta feel like he's getting kind of frustrated with how much of Palace 5 he's been exploring at this point.
Yeah. Actually, I should look into how Zelda 1 randomizer removed music. Chances are, like, just replaced everything with padded zeros or whatever. Just, like, replaced all the songs with silence.
Just took out the pointers, maybe.
Well, if you have a pointer that goes to garbage, wouldn't that crash the ROM? Or could you have it safely point to something that's empty?
Yeah, that's a good point, I suppose. I don't know enough about it to say for sure. Another heart container in 3 as Link finally finds Goomba. I want to say he's been in this palace for 10-15 minutes. I mean, he's been scouring all of it.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah, it really has.
Link fighting Guma real safely here. Is he on his last life, maybe?
It's possible.
Like if you have downstab, it's usually safe to like downstab over Guma's head and start attacking from the right, so that you don't have to wait for Guma to walk out like off the edge of the screen. I actually had a pretty slick Guma fight on my race earlier.
Learning how to fight Guma well is can be tricky, but it can also save you a heck of a lot of time.
Usually I fight Guma the way Link is here, just kind of, Dark Souls style, like, go in, dodge attack, punish. But you can do some really slick stuff with downstabbing. But the thing is, Guma's movement is completely random. Like, well, not completely, but is basically impossible to predict. So you can go in for a downstab and completely whiff, or go in and get some hits in, but then you get punished because you kind of coasted to the wrong side. It's more like a mentality where it's like, yeah, I'm going to go in and like try to get some extra hits in and just be reckless. I did Palace 5 last in my seed, so I was rather powerful.
Yeah.
I had shield and life 8, so I just went in there and berserk Guma, basically.
Link has found the trophy on the water tile, so that could prove to be useful. Eunosxx picked up fire in Mido. I didn't see him cast it, though. Probably because, well, I have no idea what fire is. He might have cast it, and I just wasn't looking, but...
Oh, me neither. He's also probably conserving MP to cast Fairy.
Yeah, right now he is, for sure.
He'll probably get a chance to test it after completing Palace 3. Palace 3 over here. And he still doesn't have downstab. Oh no, he does have downstab.
No, he does, yep.
Yeah, he cast jump to get it. I saw him do that and I just forgot. Is this Link in Palace 4 here?
Yeah, he is in Palace 4. He does have the Reflect spell, so...
That's a good time to explore Palace 4.
I don't know if you can cast it yet. At Magic 3, sometimes it's not castable. Looks like it's 81? So
he's got Magic 2, so yeah, it'd be pretty costly. Oh no, Magic 3. He just leveled up. I am watching through delay. Yeah, exploration has been awkward for these guys at times. I see they've had to suicide a few times just to like go back through a door that they had to phase through earlier.
Yeah. Eunosxx is going to take out Palace 3 here.
That was a very tanky Rebanak. That's the first time I've seen someone, like, rapid downstab the horse phase.
Do a jackhammer, you mean?
Yeah. I guess, yeah, it is a yakhammer. For some reason, I only reserved that term for Barba. But it's essentially the same thing there, yeah.
So Eunosxx
Like I'm fighting Karak. And by fighting, I mean sitting in the corner and pressing 2 D-pad directions.
Eunosxx is banking his experience from that gem. Kind of a risky maneuver, but I've seen him do this before.
Oh, he just did Fairy Feet on the bridge encounter there.
Mm-hmm. Puts you in the
I've
middle.
heard it's similar to a screen scroll in Zelda 1, where you just... I assume you gotta flick your D-pad a certain way.
You wait until you can't see the fairy on screen anymore, and then you push the D-pad in the opposite direction.
Opposite of what?
You push it so you push the fairy towards the edge of the screen. So if I'm on the left side of the screen, I'll push the D-pad towards the edge of the screen until I see the fairy disappear, and then I'll push the D-pad right, and it'll put me on the other side.
Oh, okay. You probably cause an integer overflow and touch the boundary on the other side of the map, even though it's not loaded.
Well, when you exit an encounter, it just checks to see which direction you're heading in, not which direction you're actually, or which side of the map you're actually on. So you go out of bounds, you don't quite trigger the exit event, and then you hit the D-pad in the opposite direction, so it thinks that's the way you were moving when you left the encounter.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you walk into the exit threshold from the other side, and the game just goes, okay, you left this encounter going from right to left. So you're clearly on this side of it. That's smart. Eunosxx finally going back to 6 and getting revenge on Rebanak here.
Picking up the hammer. I know I just spoiled that for you. Sorry.
That's fine. Well, you know, spoil it for me, but do it in a timely fashion for the viewers. The needs of the many, right? I feel like hammer is overrated in Randomizer, though.
Depends on the seed. I mean, we have seen one hammer blocked cave so far.
Well, there's always a hammer block cave, and there's always a boulder on the map as well that's supposed to block a path. Although in my case, in the seed I just did, the boulder was at the end of a road and at a dead end.
Yeah.
It was a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the seed, on Death Mountain there's always that hammer block cave, but on the Western Continent there's anywhere between 0 and 2 other item caves that are blocked. So, you know, depending on how many of those caves are blocked, the hammer is more or less useful.
Got some fairy feeding going on Link's stream there. He just went to Palace 4 and did an update to refresh his lives and magic meter in order to have enough resources to go through here. So we're going to see what's at the end of Death Valley here.
It looks like it's Palace 2.
Oh yeah, because we've seen the other palaces on Eunosxx stream. Like, he's in 6 right now, and he completed 3. So this must be 2.
Yep.
Just like in my stream. that I just did.
Is fire linked with life? That's possible. I actually haven't seen... maybe he cast it again and I still didn't notice, but... The real question right now is where's Thunder? You know, there's not many places left where it could be.
Could be Darunia, because we haven't seen Darunia at all yet.
And we don't have the kid yet either. Could be in Ruto. Link's got that trophy, so I'll be interested to see if and when he decides to cash that in.
Fire was the spell from the fourth town, right?
From Mido, yes.
Right. Because Eunosxx has fire, and I think, yeah, Link does not.
Right. Because he grabbed
So
medicine on Maze Island there.
Yeah, but Link has the trophy. We haven't found the log cabin town. Which one is that again?
That's Ruto.
Yeah.
We actually know where just about everything is. Fire is life, so that is confirmed. Good call, the Mabbits in chat for noticing that before we did.
Notice to Mabbit. Yeah, there, he just cast it on stream for us. And wow, it's a very potent life spell as well.
Should just be normal under these settings. 3 bars.
Oh yeah, I should check the flags for
Wow.
this one.
That attack for Jackhammer doesn't even put a dent into Barba. That's how much HP Barba's got.
Attack 4 wouldn't get you very far versus Barba anyway, I think. Some good yak hammering by Eunosxx there.
Takes a bop though.
Oh, well. Or tries to stomp on Barba.
Abandoning the Jackhammer strats.
Yeah, it's not really safe if your attack stat isn't sufficiently high. Because as you can see, it's very likely that you might accidentally get yourself hit if you're not holding down at the right moment. Eunosxx has got some pretty good deeps even without it, though. Definitely getting in more hits than I was when I was fighting Barba without jump.
And there it is. Barba goes down. You know, I mentioned earlier talking about routing. Eunosxx aside from maybe needing to come back with the trophy for Rudo, has really no reason to come back to the Western continent because he's cleared all the palaces. So possible that he can just sail east and then finish up everything over there, which I'm sure is what he's hoping for.
Got an extra level up out of it too. Actually, wait, was that the optimal way to do it? You just kind of like bought attack 5 and then was forced to take, you know, the cheap life level up from the crystal. Might have we gotten more by doing it the other way, by like spending a few, just spending 800 on life 5 and then letting the crystal wrap around. You might not get attack 5 though, you might get a magic level up by doing that. Which wouldn't be the worst thing though, because he still has to go do Palace 4 and spend reflect on that, and also has to ferry through a bunch of doors when he goes there. Wait, why is he back in Death Mountain?
I think he's going for that rock. He got the hammer.
Oh, I see. Trying to find his way to the rock.
And he must be worried about spells. He's banking on the kid or the trophy being in that rock tile. We know the trophy's not there, but it could be the kid.
Or the magic key. Or the plunger.
Yeah, it could be any of those things.
They call the flute the plunger because I have a really big rant about why the flute should not be called the flute, nor the recorder. It's a rant about musical instruments and acoustics and whatnot. I'm not sure if we have time for it, because Link is fighting Hammerhead, who started with only 3 bars. I'm sure that by the time you guys hear this, Helmet Head will already be dead.
He is, in fact, dead. What was that Eunosxx just picked up there in the rock? I was marking the tracker. I missed it.
I'm about to see it, I'll tell you.
Looks like it was a magic container.
It was a magic container.
So where are we going here?
Link just up 8 after beating
there's another cave blocked by a rock.
There could be 2? Oh yeah, I guess there could be, because there's 2 in the vanilla game.
Well, he's back on Death Mountain again. I'm a little confused, because I thought he'd already found... Oh, he was taking the... Okay.
Oh, we knew about the other entrance.
Yep. Which is a good reason to do that. There was another cave blocked by a rock. I think that's what he's going for. I don't remember where it is. He seems to remember where it is.
I gotta say, Eunosxx has some pretty good world map jukes. I need to get him to teach me.
Yeah, he's great at avoiding encounters, that's for sure.
I like his judicious pause buffering.
Link is in 6 now. Fighting Rebo. He's gonna pick up, what was that, a heart container? For his trouble. That cave that he's looking for, I want to say, is actually in the southwest corner of the map, and he is very far from that right now.
I never saw where it was.
Oh, it's the hammer in 6. It's sitting right in front of me, and I still got it wrong. Which I had it marked wrong anyway on the tracker, so...
Yeah, I should have remembered that. I'm not doing my job as a commentator. I'm sitting back and just enjoying both of these runs at the same time.
Yeah, well, it's been a pretty good race so far. Link's got the gem lead. Thunder, though, is looking to be the deciding factor.
Thunder is still a toss-up. I've never seen that before, just one lava tile in the middle of the swamp. That one almost kind of makes sense. Makes you think it's like a geothermal vent, maybe? Or a little bubble of swamp gas. I've heard legends that your internet lines go through swamp. So
Go through
maybe they
swamp.
go through lava as well.
Deciding to take some pass-through caves. He's probably looking for Old Kasuto or Nibiru would be my guess, since he can get a couple free spells out of those towns. And there's one of them right there. It's Darunia. Can't get a free spell out of there.
Is he going to go get upstab, I wonder?
Doesn't look like it.
I had an opportunity to get downstab or upstab at the end of my race and just decided not to. If I'm going to get a spell anyway, or if I'm like going into town to heal, I'll probably get it. I kind of like having upstab in Great Palace, but not really anywhere else. You can sometimes use it to get an extra hit in on Barba as well.
Yeah, it can be required in Great Palace, actually, but with the short GP, oftentimes not going to be required.
Also, I'm a fan of short Great Palace. That's probably one of my favorite flags on the newer version of Randomizer.
We'll be turning that off towards the end of this tournament here to make it more exciting.
Ooh, that would be very exciting. Well, that's the nice thing about Swiss is like, it's always people with the same records, right? So matches just get closer and closer the further you get in the tournament.
Yeah.
Even if you have two people who are 0-4, if there's still a long Great Palace, it could be anybody's game.
That's true. That was a spell in Nibiru, so not what he was hoping for. He's still got one more free spell he can pick up in Old Kasuto. Those boots that Link picked up, you know, pretty early on, look like they might be a difference maker here, especially if Thunder happens to be in Ruto with the trophy. As Link finds Barba.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because Link is definitely ahead in terms of progression. He's got more items and more gems stuck in the pedestals, but Eunosxx is actively looking for Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
So if a Thunder is like a really big runaround and hard to get, and Eunosxx already has it, then well, that's out of the way. He already knows where everything else is, so he can just go do it. Meanwhile, he's an Old Kasuto on my stream.
Yeah, and he's gonna pick up the shield spell out of there, so he knows he needs a spell item now, and that trophy is looking more and more valuable.
Yeah, it's down to trophy or kid.
Not many places left to check for this kid either. One of them's right here on Eunosx's stream, this P-Bag Cave.
Oh, this is a P-Bag cave? I thought a cave with this design was always a passage.
No, that's a P-Bag Cave. Where else could that be? It could be in the spell item in Kasuto. Could be... I'm trying to think of what palaces we haven't checked for items yet. Could be in 2? I think that's about it. There goes Barba for Link 7, so the only palace that he has left is Palace 3. I don't think he knows where it is, though. And that could take him a while, because it's way down on the bottom right corner there.
Yeah, so this is going to be the section of the race where the runners blunder around for a while and probably equalize in position.
Yeah, Eunosxx has some catching up to do. He's 2 gems behind currently. And one of them is Palace 5, which took Link 7's a long time to complete, so... It looks like Eunosxx is looking for that other P-Bag Cave. I mean, it's actually kind of near the raft spot there. And here's Link and Ruto, so we're about to find out where the Thunder Spell actually is. It's either here or in Darunia.
Okay, is he either about to get life or thunder?
And he gets life.
Alright, so thunder is kid required. Now, we don't know where the kid is.
We have no idea where the kid is. Could be in 2, could be in the spell item spot in New Kasuto. I'm struggling to think of where else it could be. I'm struggling to think of what else we haven't found yet. Eunosxx is definitely looking a little frustrated. Probably looking for P-bag spots. Or P-bag caves. He does have the spell, so he could go check that spell item in Kasuto. I'm sure if he does pick up the boots, he's going to check that water tile and find the trophy and go cash that in. Be more disappointed than he already is. Hey, he's going to go do 4. Have we found the item in 4? Remember if we have.
I don't think we did. No, wait, it was... Was it a pea bag or a heart container?
Could have certainly been one of those things. Found the item in 6, found the item in 5, found the item in 3, I want to say. So we haven't found the item in 2. Link's going into 3 right now. The only things that we haven't found are the magic key, the kid, and 1 magic container. So we've got the spell item, Palace 2, and I want to say Palace 4 as possibilities, but I could be wrong about that. It's an awfully quick Karok.
Eunosxx doing some grinding too. I think he's going for whatever's within reach here. Oh, Eunosxx putting in lots of skill here fighting Karok. So good.
Are we going to see him go back for the item? That's the question. I bet we probably will.
Yeah, I bet by the time the stream hears me say this, he's going back into 4 to search for the item. Oh, he's just walking back the other way.
Now, Link, interestingly, found the item room in 3 and turned around and walked out. So he has not found Naburu or Old Kasuto yet, does not yet know that he needs the kid. He hasn't even found the medicine yet either. So that could prove to be costly for him.
The seed has me really scared for later rounds. I've been really lucky with the seeds I've done for the race so far.
People are asking about Skype Discord sounds. I don't hear anything about that.
Me either. Is it the sound of me chiming in with push to talk?
It could be. I don't hear any of those sounds in my headphones.
Yeah, there's... I mean, like, I'm on speakers, but the only sound coming from them is just a little bit of static. I can honestly turn them off, but then I wouldn't be able to hear Dig. I guess I can switch to transmit just for this.
Here, I think I might have found the way to turn it off on my end. I couldn't hear
Oh,
it at
to
all.
turn off it's audible?
Yeah, I couldn't hear
Well, I
it
just
at
switched
all
to
on my
Trashman,
end.
so.
Which is weird. Why would it not play in my headphones if it's gonna play on my stream? I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's even weirder. Like, I can definitely hear the push-to-talk on-off sound on my end. So the fact that we hear it on yours is a little odd.
So did Eunosxx find the item there in 4? I was too busy messing with Discord settings. I didn't see.
Oh, I don't know either.
Because he is in 5 right now, it looks like.
Yeah.
And based on how he's searching, does not look like he's looking for the item. He's just looking for Guma.
It might have been the kid.
Could have been.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna be scared for later on in the tournament now, especially when the flags get harder in later rounds, when we're probably not gonna start with a candle either.
Yeah, no candle once we get to the bracket round.
You can get some nefarious stuff like candle could be in Death Mountain, couldn't it?
Sure.
That hasn't happened to me yet. I've done a few like practice seeds for fun here and there, and I finished without candle. It's not as bad as you think in Randomizer. Usually the map itself has good enough connectivity. It's not like the vanilla game where you have to go through Jump Cave in the dark and then Death Mountain in the dark or something ridiculous like that. Usually you can blunder your way through it.
So Eunosxx does not have the magic key, and he did not pick up a magic container. So if he did get the item in 4, it was the kid. But I don't know if he got the... Or I guess it could have been a whammy. Could have been... well, no. Yeah. I don't think it could have been.
We saw him pick up a key, so he didn't get the magic key in 4.
Yeah. He doesn't have 8 magic containers yet. So I'm not sure if he picked up the item in 4 or what that would have been. If he did.
Oh, is Link 4-7's going for his namesake and leveling everything up to 7?
He's pretty close.
No attack 9 for stream. Sad.
He's probably actually
9,
off in
respects.
search of towns and or spell items, since he knows that he does need something to get Thunder. He's gonna find these 2 towns pretty quickly here.
Yeah, I remember seeing Eunosxx walk to the left after placing the gem in 4, but then I got distracted and don't know what he did after that.
Yeah, we are checking Discord stuff. Palace 5 is not going easily for Eunosxx. He did not get the item. Okay, that's good to know.
I feel like this one's gonna go on for quite a while.
Well, I mean, it's whoever finds the kid first, I think, is probably going to win this one at this point. Eunosxx is still a palace and a half behind, though. But he has a little bit more knowledge about spells and other item locations that Link doesn't have. For example, Death Mountain, which we may see Link try to do here. Eunosxx is going to pick up this item in 5. We know that's a P bag. Doesn't seem happy about it. That was Link 7's in Nibiru, so he grabbed the spell. Which could be the key to unlocking this whole thing. Kid could be sitting there in Nukasudo.
Yeah, it could be there. Haven't seen what's in that hidden shrine at the edge of Nukasudo. It occurred to me one day that you could say Kasuto a Japanese way and call it Kasto. Like just put hardly any emphasis on the middle syllable on the suit.
I'm sure that's probably the intended pronunciation.
Yeah, I think all the town names in this game you can say with katakana. They're kind of spelled that way, so you probably could pronounce them all in Japanese. You could just say it's the town of Cast. Although, well, if it was, then they would have called it Chiasto instead of Casto. Yeah, otherwise it'd be more like Costo. It's the town of Cost. That's where Costco's HQ is.
Yeah.
Real estate is very cheap there. It's a lot of forest. They can't afford to pay the demolition crew to take it out yet.
Wow, look at these, that Guma fight there. Jeez. Putting us all to shame.
Holy. Eunosxx with mad aggro strats on Guma.
Getting inside that hitbox.
Oh yeah. Just right in there. RTSD strats.
And it looks like he's headed to 2.
That reminds me, I should go back and watch Marvel 3 Grand Finals for Amiibo. The last Marvel 3 major ever.
I don't think I've ever seen a single one, so...
It's gonna be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite from here on. Or more accurately, maybe the Marvel scene is gonna play that Dragon Ball Z fighting game that Eunosxx is making. Or maybe that Blaze Blue tag battle thing that Eunosxx is making. They really want to fill in the void that's going to be left behind by Marvel.
So Eunosxx is item hunting in 2. We don't know what this item is. It could be the one that he's looking for.
Or it could be a magic container.
Yep. Or the magic key. Link is just kind of checking things. I'm not sure what exactly he's looking for here. Are we gonna see the jump strats? Oh, so close. Got the first one, but not the second. Does find the item room though, so this is interesting. Gonna answer some questions for us.
Oh, this is exciting. I can't see it yet.
Ugh.
Oh wow, you almost got up the impossible staircase without a spell too.
Well, not that exciting.
It is the plunger.
Yep. So that spell item in Nukasudo looking pretty darn attractive right now. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure what other item we haven't seen yet. There's at least one more. I think it's 4, but I'm not 100% confident that it's 4.
It's not the Death Mountain Rock.
Nope. It's not
Is
anything in
Eunosxx-
Death Mountain. Eunosxx got both of those items.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was now. It was a magic container, I think.
It's not Maze Island. It's not either of the P bags. It's not the desert tile. We've seen Palace 1, 2. I feel like we've seen 3. We've definitely seen 5 and 6, so it's got to be either 3 or 4. I feel like it's probably 4.
Well, Link looked at the item room in 3 and then turned around and walked away.
Yeah, he sure did. Of course, if it's in the spell item in New Kasuto, then, you know, who cares if it's 3 or 4. Just go grab that and finish it up.
Yeah, this seed has me really scared that I might get something as heinous as this in a later round.
Well, a lot of them have been like this.
Yeah, just really weird, like, deadlock scenarios. Like, things are required by this thing.
Oh, okay, so Link was looking for the shield spell. I guess he didn't find Old Kasuto there, but there he just got it. And I wonder what he's going to check next. He's got Maze Island to check. He's got Death Mountain to check. Eunosxx has already covered those things. He's got a P-Bag Cave to find, I believe. So there's a lot of things that Eunosxx checked while he was knocking out palaces that he's probably going to go and check now.
Well, he took a break from knocking down palaces. I feel like he's been actively looking for Thunder for the entire second half of the race and still hasn't found it.
Yeah, he's going to go check Maze Island now, which is actually going to slow him down because he's going to find the medicine. And the medicine does not have what he needs.
Medicine will get him the fire spell, which is essentially a cheaper way to cast life. The nice thing is Link does have the boots, which is really nice for traversing Maze Island.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, maybe not when you're trying to explore it and find what you're missing.
So that's going to do it. Both of these runners have all 6 gems placed. It's just that Thunder spell that's keeping them from going into Great Palace. Eunosxx is going to save. I wonder where he's going to go now. He's not taking the raft spot, so...
Probably looking for the trophy.
But... I feel like... Oh, there was that one cave with a rock. That's the other one. That's the other spot. There was that one cave that was blocked by a rock.
Oh, we're right, in the southwest corner of the West Continent.
Yeah.
That we haven't seen in forever.
I forgot about that.
Okay, Eunosxx, show us how to get there. Unless Link gets there first, then you show us how to get there.
There it is, right there. Heart Container Cave. Now, we all know from watching Angry Larry streams that Heart Container Cave has a heart container in it, so...
Oh yeah, we should add that to the tracker. I think the item in 5 was the plunger.
And there he is. The kid.
Where was it?
Sitting there in the heart container cave. So you needed to get the hammer out of Palace 6 in order to get the kid out of heart container cave to get Thunder. That's the chain of events that had to happen. Unfortunately for Link, he's just got a lot of spots left to check. Seeds like this become a race to see who can check the most spots the fastest, and Eunosxx just did a better job of that this time around. It's still not over. Great Palace could happen, but Eunosxx definitely in the lead now that he's got that kid. He can go cash in for Thunder and then head to Maze Island.
Well, Eunosxx doesn't have it down to process of elimination. He might be concerned that he needs the trophy.
Oh, that's true. He has not found the trophy. That's a great point.
Yeah, Eunosxx doesn't know as much as we do. Normally he does, but not this time.
He is going to go ahead and pick up Upstab here while he's in the vicinity.
No telling if we'll see it used.
Oh, but look at this. Link also has the hammer, so he's going to come in here and pick up the kid as well and be right behind Eunosxx. So this is actually pretty darn close.
Oh, yeah.
And Link knows that the kid's what he needs, I think.
No, he found the water of life. He didn't get fire yet.
Oh, he didn't go there.
So he might go... He might go there. Might catch that in first. All of a sudden, this is a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no kidding. Could have turned out very differently.
Yeah, I thought that one of them was going to go on a very frustrating roundabout world tour looking for stuff.
VLC is acting up on me for Link 7's stream mostly right now. I'm trying to fix it for you guys. Bear with me here.
Yeah, see that? It looks rather psychedelic.
Yeah, it's getting a little glitchy.
I gotta say I'm enjoying it. If it was gonna happen at any point in the race, this is probably the best time for it. Because it's basically the runners just, doing chores. Just walking around, going to...
I'm just gonna go ahead
give
and...
NPCs things.
Well, do I want to reload Link's stream? Let me see if I can just reload Link's stream real quick. He got upstab. Computer, please. I'm gonna try and reload Link's stream here real quick. Sorry about this, guys.
Hey, like I said, if there's a time you gotta do it, this is the best time for it. Starting to see some artifacting on Eunosx's stream now, too. He has just arrived at Great Palace, which has a very nice candy color to it.
Yeah, powder blue.
Is that what it's called? It's like the color of like mints or certain flavors of gum. Or sour candies, yeah.
Now I can't even load Link's stream, so this has become kind of a disaster. But Eunosxx is doing well.
Oh, we found a cylinder elevator. That's actually one of my favorite things about the randomizer is just like actually trying to imagine a map of some of the palaces, and you go like, wait a minute, these rooms would like overlap each other. So you're like sort of forced to picture it in 3 dimensions to see like, okay, maybe it like bends over this way so it can go behind this room. And then sometimes you get stuff like that where an elevator is connected to itself. So it's actually just like a cylinder that you just kind of go around like in a hamster wheel. Just like kind of going like, oh boy, I'm going up to another floor, and then gets out and sees he's in the exact same room. Always just has that same goofy smiling face on no matter what's happening in Zelda 2. That's one of my favorite things about speedrunning or randomizers and stuff like that. Is just the bizarre and warped context of certain situations.
Alright guys, sorry about that. I got Link's stream back up now, just making sure that it's still glitchy as hell on the preview. Well, this is great. The best possible time. decided to go out on me here.
Here, I'll get Link's stream up on my other monitor and just kind of do radio play commentary here, or what's going on. Link Sevens is in Great Palace.
Yeah,
I walked over the.
I think I got it actually. It's stabilized out, so mostly anyway. So we're good. Link's in the Eon room, and Eunosxx is going through a waffle room right now. I unfortunately don't know, what route these players have taken or not. There is.
Oh, he knows how to do that. How to walk across the top of the waffle like the good runners can do. I need to learn how to do that. I honestly don't know how that's done. Like, it looks so easy, but I have no idea how to do it.
Link's stream is still glitching out a little bit. I'm sorry about that, but I'm afraid to try and reopen it again after what happened last time, so I'm just gonna let it roll for now. Eunosx's stream looks fine to me. It's just Link's stream that's giving me troubles for whatever reason.
Yeah, it looks fine when I'm watching it. So, for those who are explicitly curious, oh, it looks like Link has every spell as well.
Yeah, he sure does.
Gotta update the overlay.
Oh, am I off on something? Oh, did he get the fire spell
Link
in
knows every
Mayo?
spell. I saw him open the menu and he knew all 8 spells. So he must have grabbed both of those before going to Great Palace.
Well, he definitely grabbed Thunder, and I was messing with streams, so I missed that part.
So yeah, this is actually just a war for who can find Thunderbird first.
Yeah,
and then kill Thunderbird and find their way to Darklink from there.
Eunosxx has the advantage, though. He was in Great Palace at least a couple minutes ahead of Link Sevens there, so... Computer, please.
Yeah, he's got lower levels. Does have more heart containers, which I think it might be more net health. I'm not too certain about this, but I believe that damage in this game is also a lookup table.
Yeah, indeed it is.
So every single enemy has 8 different damage values they can do to Link. That seems like not the most space-efficient thing to do, but I think the space requirements weren't quite that stringent at this point in the NES design cycle.
Well, considering how little space there is in the ROM, it is kind of frustrating how they decided to do stuff like that. We do have a Thunderbird fight for Eunosxx, so his stream is currently working well. Link Sevens is still struggling for me, for whatever reason.
They kind of take turns looking funny for me. Good time to watch Eunosxx, though, during Thunderbird fight. Eunosxx is like me, fighting Thunderbird without jump.
And down goes T-Bird. I don't think Link Sevens is that far behind.
I should have paid more attention to Eunosx's traversal of Great Palace to see how many intersections he went through.
Yeah.
It's not always just a simple matter of walking right and hoping you get there. Sometimes you have to make some decisions or explore a couple pathways and see which ones are dead ends.
Normally I would try to do that, but I've been scrambling to fix this streaming situation. So there, Link just found the dead end that Eunosxx found a little bit ago. I don't know where T-Bird is in relation to where Link Sevens is right now. It's hard to tell with this garbled screen. I'm working on it, Ethel.
Eunosxx going through a waffle room. Looks like you got the top path both times there after dying once.
And we got a T-Bird fight for Link. So not far behind at all. Eunosxx finds a drop. Seems like I can get one or the other of these streams to work well, but not both at the same time, so I'll leave it on this T-Bird fight for now. Oh, we got a Dark Link fight on Eunosx's side, so that's gonna do it for this race here. It's a little too late for Link 7s to catch up.
Dark Link is essentially an auto-scroller. It's funny because it's such a difficult and frustrating fight when playing casually. And then you see how speedrunners do it, where they just stand in the corner and decide, do I feel like crouch stabbing or stand stabbing today? You can just sort of mash attacks in the corner, and Dark Link will continually walk into them.
And just as Link finishes up T-Bird, we've got Eunosxx finishing up Dark Link. So that's going to do it for this race.
That's a very close race, though.
Indeed.
That's even closer than the one I just did, I think, which was a difference of 3 minutes.
Yeah, Link 7s is going to be finished very shortly here.
I guess we can pause Eunosx's stream so we can try to get full quality out of Link's for the home stretch here.
It's a good idea. I don't know what's going on with that.
We can just free stream it on Link and Zelda hugging behind the curtains.
Of all the times for it to start going badly, it has to be in Great Palace, of course.
Yeah, perhaps the most clutch part of the race. It did come down to Great Palace, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, both of these runners taking extremely different routes, but then, you know, finishing just a couple minutes apart here, ultimately.
Yeah, they both had that same bottleneck of he didn't figure out where Thunder was. Oh, Link down to his last life, so he's going to cast Shield.
Thanks for the benefit of the doubt there, Shift. It definitely seems like an internet problem to me because, yeah. I think, was that Eunosxx that I just heard coming in? Maybe?
Eunosxx has indeed entered the room, but is muted.
Oh?
Hey, what's up?
By the way,
Yo.
Congrats.
Thanks.
That was a close one. Link's actually just fighting Dark Link right now, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, it was very close. It was a very exciting race.
Yeah.
I thought it must have been. I couldn't see Link taking much longer, really. I figured he was ahead.
Well, the two of you took pretty different routes through this seed. Link found the boots. I mean, the boots were right there on the by the raft spot on the Eastern Continent in Peabag Cave, and you walked past it a couple times, didn't grab them, but ultimately ended up costing him a little time because he found the trophy on the water tile and didn't need it. So.
I don't. Those boots. I don't know if they would have saved. I wanted those boots, and I was starting to get a little. If I had found those boots, I would have gotten to Mito a lot earlier. I thought that I was boot blocked from Mito, and then that's why I went east and was doing all kinds of crazy stuff without downstab and.
Yeah, we saw that, having some trouble with the ribbon axe there in 6.
Yep, that too. I was really wanting downstab, and I was thinking it was boot blocked, and I was wanting those boots, but then I couldn't get them. Couldn't find any boots.
Yeah. Well, you didn't need them. You managed without, and I mean, it could have been dangerous for you there. Link found that trophy, and we were wondering, it had to be either the trophy or the kid, and if it had been the trophy and not the kid, then...
Oh yeah, I'd have been boned completely.
He'd have smoked you.
Oh yeah. I didn't know I missed the Peabag Cave. And my thought process was that, okay, well, I got to go into the boner, and the boots will be in the boner, and then the water tile will be trophy. But I would have gone to the boner and gotten something not boots.
Yeah, probably Magic Key or Magic Container, I think, were the only things we didn't really see.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Right by the raft spot. What, I just like walk into the town or what?
It was kind of in the swamp there. Up to the north of the raft spot.
Oh. How the heck do you get there?
Are you doing it right now on your stream? I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have your stream up anymore. I closed it, but
I just like missed that spot in the swampy area.
seems that way.
Well,
I mean, you didn't seem to have any trouble with knocking out these palaces or anything, so there wasn't much trolliness in there.
no, I did see a good amount of 5 and saw pretty much all of 2, I think. But you know that happens.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not.
Link taking an unfortunate game over to Dark Link. He tried to fight him the hard way and was on his last life and didn't end well for him.
Yeah, there was some freestyle Dark Link. Obviously, you saw that he didn't win, but he was on his last life, so it was a bit reckless. He switched to the speedrun strats, fighting in the corner while on Magic Pixel, but got jumped in on and took a hit. Or no, he actually just got crouch stabbed by Dark Link. Got some revenge.
Yeah,
Dark Link's speedrunning us today.
He had the palaces done way before you. He was probably 3 gems up at one point, I want to say, because you did Death Mountain and Maze Island and all that fun stuff before diving into those palaces, but then you just came back pretty quickly at the end there. I was wondering, you up 8 out of 4. Were you not wanting to look for the item in 4, or what was the decision there?
Yeah, I guess I got to that dead end and just was sick of it, and I thought, well, I'll just go to another place and I can come back anyway if I need to.
Yeah, I guess it was pretty easy to get there.
Yeah, I mean, that cluster there, I mean, you get to the east and instantly find everything but a couple towns.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all right in one place. Cool. Well, you're going to 2-0. A lot of other great runners 2-0, including Error, Joshy D, 2-0 Joshy D.
Tino, Joshy D.
Who else is 2-0? I'm sure there are plenty that I'm forgetting.
Are you 2-0, Dig Shake?
Well, my race is tomorrow, so we'll find out.
No news.
We'll find out tomorrow afternoon if I'm going to be 2-0 or not. It's just late and I'm tired and I can't think about who else is 2-0 right now.
I'll just go look at the bracket and see if I can tell you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed you you felt like you were explicitly looking for Thunder for a long time before finishing all the palaces. Whereas I think Link was kind of like, oh, I'll get all these palaces done and then see if I need Thunder afterward.
Yeah.
So there's a long section in the middle of the race where we were not sure who was going to pull ahead.
Yeah, it could have. I didn't think that I had any chance of winning after digging all those palaces out and not getting what I needed. No, let me.
There goes Link Sevens, finishing with a time of 1:32.17. Would have only been a couple minutes behind had he, just cheesed Dark Link the first time around. I'm sure he already knew the outcome of the race.
So according to the standings for the tournament for 2017, there are 4 people who are 2-0. They are Error72, Joshy D, V Resnor, and Jam Evil.
Oh yeah, Jam, that's right. Well, now Eunosxx. So shaping up to be some great matchups here in the next round. And I think Link Sevens is here with us. What's up, Link?
Yeah, hey guys. Congrats,
Hey,
Eunos.
thanks. Good game.
Yeah, so Link, it was a really tight race. We were just talking actually. Shiner was just pointing out that Eunos decided to look for spells and then clear palaces, and you kind of had the opposite. You were just getting those palaces out of the way, and then deciding to do spells. Is that your usual strat there, or?
I feel like I usually do it the other way. I usually get spells first. But I also, I think compared to some other seeds I've done, I felt like I had, like, Glove and, Fairy was cheap enough, and Reflect. So when I ran into a lot of the palaces, I kind of figured, well, I'll just do it now. I'll get it out of the way. And, with just Thunder to go, I figured, there's a couple more towns up. I can find them later. It kind of doesn't matter which order.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Currently, that's the approach I have too.
that kid is what ultimately decided the race, sitting there in that cave. In fact, Eunos, I think you went to look for that cave at one point and kind of lost it a little bit.
The P-Bag Cave?
The cave with the kid in it, Heart Container Cave.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, you're supposed to go there and then looked everywhere else for 25 minutes first.
I did do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was terrible. Overworld.
Yeah, definitely looking for that was what really got me bogged down at the end.
Oh, there. The P-Bag Cave's in the northeast corner.
I mean, and even then, I feel like I was kind of lucky because that cave was hammer blocked, and I grabbed the hammer, and I didn't necessarily need to, right? It was in 6, was it?
Yeah, it was in 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I found the item room in 6, I thought about just backing out because I was like, well, there's a couple more towns left. I probably don't need any more items. But I decided to grab it anyway, which otherwise I would have still been running.
Yeah. It was a great race. I mean, just watching the two of you take 2 different routes and then end up, basically a minute and a half apart at the very end.
It was actually when I kind of felt like I had a shot at winning, though, because when I found the kid, I thought, I found the hammer, which I needed to get this, and if Eunos didn't, then that could really make a huge difference.
Yeah. Well, Eunos said explore Death Mountain as well, which I don't think you really went in that much at all.
No, I explored the caves I could see, and then I used it as a pass-through because both entrances were in the same region.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The same thing. I found that Death Mountain and just found the cave and to the exit to the other side, and I thought, oh, well, this is good enough. I'll do this.
Well, great race, guys. That was a lot of fun to watch.
I kind of liked the overworld on this seed. It was kind of interesting. The gigantic gorge on the eastern continent was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Went from one side of the western continent to the other, from one, like the water at the edge of the map, from one side to the other. Almost all mountains. It was crazy.
And that long bridge down to Mido, too. Don't usually see people taking that bridge in seeds.
Yeah, that bridge doesn't usually block anything. You can usually walk around, but until you had the boots, that was the only way to get to that town.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I am exhausted. I need to get some sleep. Get ready for my match tomorrow. We got a lot of races tomorrow, actually. I think first one starts at 10 o'clock Eastern. We got 2 of them at 10 o'clock Eastern, so I won't go through them all. But basically, if you're awake tomorrow during the day and you want to watch Zelda 2, you'll be able to do so.
Yeah.
We got a lot of races tomorrow.
Wait, 10 o'clock Eastern.
10
I can
o'clock.
watch one before work tomorrow. Oh,
10 a.m. We got two of them at 10 a.m. We got Pres J Polk versus BGT, and who's the other one? King Doll versus
Kingdom. Nerm.
versus Nerm at 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
So a couple of great races right off the bat, and more great races all day long.
I'm gonna want to watch Prez's race because he mentioned in Discord that he has never finished a Zelda 2 randomizer seed.
Well,
He's a pretty capable Zelda 2 player too. I'm pretty surprised.
He's
He
played
might have a better
exactly.
all keys time than me.
He's played exactly 2 of them. So
There you go.
at least
Right
as far
on,
as I
man.
know, he might have played some offline or something, but I don't think that he has. Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up though for this particular stream. So congrats Eunosxx on the win. Congrats Shiner on your win too earlier.
Yeah, good game, man.
Yeah, thanks for the restream, guys.
Yeah, no problem. And thanks all you for watching. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give these runners a follow. And we'll see you tomorrow for some more Zelda 2.